Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, my name is Lauren. In today's video, we're going to be doing another 5-year review on a handbag. I recently just posted my 5-year review on my Loewe puzzle bag, and today it is going to be on this one here, which is my Louis Vuitton Speedy Bandoulier 25 in monogram, or Speedy B if you just want to keep it nice and easy. So I have had this now for 5 years. I have my original receipt here on my phone. I picked this up back in March 16th of 2018. I distinctly remember because it was my spring break and I wanted to get myself a little present, and this was the present to myself. So we're gonna go over the pros and the cons. I'm also gonna show you what I'm gonna pack into it because I'm switching out of my Staud Acute leather shoulder bag. My husband and I are running errands today, and we have like quite a bit of stuff to do, so I need to carry more things. And when I was looking at my handbags of which one I should wear today, I saw this and I thought I should do a review on this, and I should probably give it a try because it is gorgeous out today in Vancouver. It's so sunny, so there's no chance of rain, so I don't need to worry about it. But yeah, we're gonna go over the pros and the cons, what I like about it, what I don't like about it, because if you have followed my channel for some time, then you know I'm not the biggest fan of this handbag, and I'll explain why. So let's just get into it. Like I mentioned, I did purchase this 5 years ago. This was super hot on YouTube at the time, back in 2018. Like, so many people were reviewing it, and I was still fairly new to Louis Vuitton, I would say. And I saw it and I thought, oh, it's perfect. You know, it's a very small little mini bag, and I like mini bags. This isn't that mini when you see it, right? And I thought, it's a classic, I should pick it up. It was really hard to find. It was constantly sold out. I had phoned Hotel Vancouver, the Louis Vuitton there in Vancouver, and they had one left. So I raced downtown, and this was it. They also had the Damier Ebene, but it was, I wouldn't say it was an impulse buy because I had been looking at it and I looked at reviews and everyone was like swooning over this handbag, but I ended up picking it up. At the time, the price of it, it was, and I'm in Canada, it was $17.50 before taxes, and now I believe it is $2,330 Canadian. So that's an increase of $580. So that's an increase of $580. So over 5 years, that's only like $100, like $115 sort of increase every year. So I mean, compared to like a lot of their increases on other handbags and other luxury brands, it's not crazy. So the price point wasn't bad for the handbag at the time, and I had that whole FOMO, like that whole fear of missing out. You know, this is the last one here in Vancouver. It's rarely ever in stock. Everyone loves it on YouTube. So I bought it. And when I got home, I noticed one thing with it, which if you've watched my channel before, you would have seen it. So you can see that this handle, I hope it's not getting blown out, let's see. But this handle here is lighter than this handle here. And so this handle, like you can even see with the leather, so this leather is darker here, and then this handle is lighter. This one matches perfectly. The leather has patinaed very nicely and it's the same, but on this side, the handle is lighter than the rest of the leather. And when I was in the store, I didn't notice it because the lighting's not very good in the store, right? And plus I was excited because I found it. And then when I got home, I noticed it. And then, you know, I did my research, and some people were saying because it's, you know, each piece is individually done, sometimes there'll be discrepancies, so on and so forth. So I didn't think much of it. I just thought, okay, you know what, maybe if I just keep this part out in the sun a little bit more when I'm using it, it will catch up, which it has slightly, but definitely there's still a difference. I feel like if you saw me with the handbag, you probably wouldn't notice because it's often down like this, the handles, when I'm wearing it, because I never carry it by its hand. So I don't feel like it's like a huge difference. It's just something now that bothers me. And if I could go back, I wouldn't have got this. Like, I would have returned it. But again, I was in that whole like, oh my goodness, I'm gonna love this, I'm gonna wear it, total FOMO. So There we go. I do have a luggage tag on there. This is from my friend Meg here on YouTube. It's LVX Lux Delight. I believe that's her handle. She was so sweet. She had got this at the same time as me, roughly, and we were talking about getting luggage tags, but you have to have an extensive history to just buy a luggage tag. Like you need to have bought luggage in the past. So she actually gifted this to me, and to this day I just, she's so kind. Meg is honestly so kind. I keep that and I will never take it off. I love this. This is actually different. This part here is from Next Fashion. The original luggage tag has a really annoying strap to put on, so this just makes it so handy to take it off and on. I will link this. You know that most of my chains and accessories for my bags are from Next Fashion. I love it. But yeah, other than that, the handbag's in really good condition because I barely used it. The most I used it was last summer, probably about 4 times I would say I used it because I was really forcing myself to. But other than that, up until then, I probably used it like 4 times in my life. You can see, I always mention it in every sort of video where I talk about, you can almost see the original lines and creases are still there from when it was packed in the box, which I think is crazy, which just shows that I have not used it. I do keep it stuffed with the organizer, and then I put it in my dust bag. But let's go into it and talk more about, let's start with the pros. So what I like about this handbag, I do like that it's a classic, obviously. I feel like at this point now I won't sell it because it is a classic, and I feel like it's just going to be around forever, and I can pass this on to my niece when she, well, if she eventually likes handbags, but I'm planning on passing it down to her. So I do like that it is a classic. I do really like that it's lightweight. It is extremely lightweight. I do have an organizer in it, which adds a little bit of weight, but in general, because it's canvas and there's, you know, a minimal amount of leather on there, it's fairly light and it's decently comfortable if I pack it with everything. I also like that you can wear it multiple different ways. So you can carry it just like this, which I never do. You can carry it crossbody, which is the way I do it the most. Or if you remove this extra piece of leather, you can just carry it on the shoulder. I've also just taken the strap off and put on a Next Fashion, like a gold chain, and wore it like that. But I like that it is fairly versatile. Other things I like about it, I mean, is that it? That might be it. Those are 3 pros, I feel like, right? Let's go over the cons now. So the first one I would say, I bought it because I thought it was a small, kind of like mini bag. This is the smallest they had at the time. Now they have the Speedy 20 as well as the Nano, which are so cute and definitely more my style. But this is not that small. It's actually quite bulky because it is a duffel bag, and I do have an organizer in there, so I know that it adds a little bit of extra, like, I guess, width to it. If I didn't have it, it'd be like a little bit smushier, but without it, it's just a black hole. So it's not very small. It's a little bit bulky, so I do wear this crossbody most of the time, and it hits everything. Like, it will bump into things, and it's a little bit bigger on my frame as well. I'm only about 5'4", so it is a bigger bag on me, as you can kind of see, right? So it is a duffel bag. So that's one of the cons. I just don't like how it's a little bit bulky, a little bit big, hits things, whatever. Second reason why I don't really like this handbag, and this is personal preference, I would say, for this one. It doesn't necessarily have to do with the handbag itself or the functionality or anything like that, but I'm growing out of monogram. Which is sad because I feel like quite a few of my Louis Vuitton handbags, and when I say quite a few, I mean I don't have a lot, are monogram. So my Noe is monogram, as well as my Montsouris is monogram, like my Pochette accessoires is monogram. A lot of my SLGs are like the Damier Ebene, or if it's monogram, it's like the Eclipse, so it's not as noticeable, but I'm just growing out of the monogram. For me, it's too loud, and it just, I don't know, it just like, it screams the brand, which I know Louis Vuitton is known for this canvas monogram, but for me, I'm just growing out of it. So again, this sort of personal preference. But yeah, that's the second reason. The third reason why I'm not such a huge fan of this is because I feel like my handbag collection now has grown. There's so many other handbags that I just gravitate towards more. This, to me, I don't even know if people still use this term, but it's just kind of, it's like a basic kind of handbag. And again, this is all personal preference because I know people love this. that's the reason why I bought it, because so many people love it, but it doesn't do anything for me. Like, when I see it, I think, oh, like, you know, there's my Speedy, you know what I mean? But it just, to me, it's nothing that really sparks anything in me that makes me think like I want to use it. For example, like, even though like this is a mid-range handbag, which is the Staud one, or my Jacquemus handbags, like I love using those and I think they're just so cool. There's something really cool about them. I like this one, it's the shape. But this one here, maybe because I mean it is the classic duffel, it doesn't do anything. And even when I see people carrying it, I don't think anything of it. I just think, oh, there's like a Speedy, you know what I mean? But I don't know, I just don't like the style of it, I guess. And again, that's sort of personal preference, but I'm just not into it anymore. I typically only wear this when I'm wearing very casual clothes, like a hoodie and leggings, because I think it looks kind of cool with that. It kind of adds to that sporty kind of vibe, I guess you would say. But I never really wear this if I ever kind of dress up. Like even with jeans, I rarely would ever wear this handbag. The next con with it is sort of the opening here, which I know some people talk about. It's not the biggest, so I do have an organizer in there, but sometimes like when you're reaching to grab things, it's hard to get inside just because it's a little bit awkward. This has loosened up quite a bit. Prior to that, I feel like it was a little bit stiffer, the canvas, but it's not the best or the biggest kind of opening to find things. And I keep using this handbag because I have it right in front of me, but like, look at that. You can just, it opens up so wide, you can basically get everything out of it, whereas this one here, it's a little bit harder. And because the interior is that kind of dark brown, when you're looking down into it, it's hard to find things. It's a little bit of a black hole. That's why I feel like you need an organizer in there with it. The next con I would say with this one in particular is that unless you're living in a climate that doesn't have a ton of rain, I don't know if this is the best option for you with the untreated leather. I feel like the Damier Ebene might be a better choice, but I just didn't really like this with the Speedy, just because you do have to worry about it getting, like I said, the watermarks on it. You have to worry if you put on like a lot of creams and you're like grabbing it like this. It's just babying it a little bit more with that untreated leather. I do like how Louis Vuitton now has pieces that have, you know, the vachetta, but it is already sort of pre-treated, so you don't need to be as worrisome, or you don't have to baby it as much. But that's something else I don't really like about this handbag. And then the next thing, while this handbag is really light, when you wear it crossbody, this part here, where it hits me, because this is the way, this is like the length that I like it at, this part here digs into your shoulder. So when you fill it up, initially it's light, but when you fill it up, it can get a little bit heavy, and just having this part here is just, it irritates me. As well, it also kind of sticks out a little bit. This part here isn't adjusted, like you can't move that little band that holds it, so it can kind of stick out like that, as you can see there, which I don't really like. It's the same as my Loewe. I don't like that extra piece of fabric there. So that's another thing. This can dig, this metal part here on the strap can really dig into the shoulder, and it's not the most comfy after a while. So I can understand why people might move to carrying it like that in the crook of their arm. But I guess those are the major pros and cons. In general, like with my Loewe, if I ever lost that or something happened to it, I would buy it in a heartbeat. With this one, if I were to lose this or anything, like if it went missing, I would be sad, but I would not repurchase this. Like 100%, I can tell you right now. Like I said, the only reason why I'm not selling it is because I plan on just giving it to my niece, because it is a classic and it can be passed down to her. And yeah, that's why I'm keeping it. But for the price of this now being $2,300, and then you include tax, so it's getting up to like $2,500 Canadian, I wouldn't recommend it. There's so many other leather handbags, mid-range or luxury handbags that you can get around the same price or a little bit more for full leather. So I wouldn't recommend it. It is one of the more affordable handbags on Louis Vuitton, so I guess that's a pro, but I wouldn't recommend it if you want my honest opinion. So that is my 5-year review on this handbag. Please let me know your thoughts. If you have this, let me know. Do you love it? Which I'm probably sure you do, because I feel like most people love it. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Let me know your thoughts. Are you thinking about getting this handbag? I'd love to hear why you want it, because now I've told you all the reasons why I don't like it, but I want to hear why you want it. Thank you so much for watching, and please remember, everything in here is just my own opinion. I am just one single person in this world. You definitely do not need to listen to me, but I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!